The tree has left the picture.
It'll be there.
This is the tree. It knows.
I will plant it.
Guess this means we're talking about David Lynch.
Welcome back to an episode of The Director's Cut.
Indeed, we are going to talk about David Lynch.
So, where did this guy come from?
What universe did he come from?
Multi-dimensional universes. Universe-I.
Was he always an eccentric guy, or did he start out kind of normal, like many directors, young directors coming out of the woodwork, and then kind of turned weird?
Well, what would you say, Todd, if I told you that he was an Eagle Scout?
I'd have a tough time believing that.
I think that actually forms a lot of his work.
An Eagle Scout's quite an accomplishment.
It is. I couldn't do it. I think I got to second class. That was the highest I ever tried.
Second class is not a rating. I was an Eagle Scout.
You know why I stopped being an Eagle Scout? Because we had to go snow caving. It's not worth this.
Too cold.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Was he an artistic Eagle Scout?
I'm sure he was, yes. To get into his life, he kind of lived all over. His parents moved around a lot. I think he was born in Montana. He lived here in Alexandria, Virginia for a while, too. I think he graduated from high school here. Child of the 50s also, which also I think is important to his worldview of things. Americana in the 50s. And then eventually, I think, went to college in Philadelphia Academy of Fine Arts, I do believe. And that's where he got into film school.
Yeah, I've seen some of his student stuff.
I've never seen any.
It's all hand-animated things. The most famous one is six men vomiting.
6 men getting sick 6 times.
And it's just 6 animated characters that take turns vomiting over and over and over again.
That sounds about right.
This was also the era when avant-garde filmmaking was reaching its peak. Maya Deren and Louise Brunel and sort of the avant-garde was sort of taking effect, especially in student films.
Did he make a name for himself doing these student films? Did he actually?
No, he did not.
Okay.
He eventually got a conservatorship with the American Film Institute. They gave out grants. I don't know if they still do or not, but he got a grant to do a film. That was basically the genesis for Eraserhead.
Okay.
And that was a years-long project in the making. I think it was only going to be a short film. And it kept growing like the baby's head does at the end of Eraserhead.
Getting stranger and stranger.
We haven't mentioned that he was also very into transcendental meditation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So our first episode is taking us from what to what?
Eraserhead to...
I think we'll go up to Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
We can talk about Twin Peaks, the show, but I know we're here to talk about the movies. So I don't think we should dwell on Twin Peaks, the show.
I would say The Return is a film.
Return is 18 episodes.
It's an 18-hour movie.
It's a show.
We'll get into that.
We should probably talk about the elephant in the room here, which is Chris Hale and his love of anything David Lynch does, to the point where I do think he could film a new movie. Well, a new movie
now that he's dead.
Yeah. If he filmed the movie now while he was dead, we would all be like, holy shit.
Let's go see that. If he was still alive. If he filmed, the movie was a half an hour, and it was a guy trimming a bush, you would probably look at me and go, brilliant.
Depends on how it was filmed and, if there was subtext to it. Sure.
No dialogue, just trimming a bush.
The subtext is obviously sex.
Because it's a bush that's being trimmed. Right. See? Duh. Masterpiece.
Well, in Twin Peaks The Return, where the guy's sweeping the floor for 10 minutes, and Chris was like, that's my favorite part.
Best scene ever.
Hey, what is this with everybody? What is it?
It's
Really?
only me. It's
Why?
my fault.
I'm serious. Fucking A, man. It drives me nuts. Who gives a fucking shit how long a scene is?
I will also say that there is one David Lynch movie that we'll get to that I don't really much care for.
Well, let's dive into his first movie.
We've already talked about it. It's Eraserhead.
In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine.
1977.
1977, same year as Star Wars, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Saturday Night Fever.
As
Smokey and the Bandit.
as Joe and I talked about recently in our review of Sorcerer, that was the year that the blockbuster took over. So that movie flopped, and then you had a little tiny art movie becoming a Rolling Stone on its own.
Now, would you guys say this movie's scary?
Parts of it, yes.
Parts, yeah.
There's an unease about everything The perfect example is the dinner scene with Mary's parents. Dad is just like sitting there smiling at him,
Smiling
and
eerily.
she's crying in the background.
It's almost not a film. It's more like a painting to me.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like a dreamscape painting that you're experiencing because there's no logic about anything, really. There's all of these strange things happening.
I think Lynch would agree with you.
The noises in it got me.
We have to mention, like, Lynch, besides being a great visual director, is also a master of sound design. That's why a 30-minute movie of a guy trimming a bush would be great, because there'd be awesome, like, sound design to it.
Okay, Paul!
My first impression was it's a disturbing, uncomfortable movie. The guy is very I don't even know what to call him.
Very awkward.
He's very passive. He just does what anyone tells him to do until the end, when he takes some sort of agency with the baby.
Yeah.
Does this one have some themes that appear in other movies, like identity?
It definitely gets into, like, Lynch's subconscious.
Yeah,
This is the first instance of that.
It shows a lot of the subconscious imagery, this overlay in front of the picture.
The main sort of theme of this movie is fear of parenthood or fear of fatherhood.
Yeah.
What if my child isn't normal?
Which I think almost every parent worries
Right.
about that.
Oh, you are sick.
Lynch brings a lot of, like, his inner consciousness and inner fears.
Okay.
He brings them out into, like, visual form and audio form too.
Now, who are the other characters?
Well, you got Mary, his girlfriend. Do they ever get married? I don't think it's ever clear. The
don't
mother says you have to get married, but I don't think they ever do.
I don't
Anyway.
remember them getting
Yeah,
married.
there's no clear wedding.
Yeah.
We know it's her mother. I don't know if that's her father. It might be her stepfather,
I'd assume it's her father.
radiator woman,
Yep.
and, like, this comatose grandma who just sits in the kitchen.
Yes. What would you guys say is the most disturbing or scariest?
Oh, definitely the ending with the baby. When he finally, like, cuts open the bandages around the baby and, like, you know, he finds that it doesn't have any skin and it just sort of
It starts bleeding.
starts
to death.
bleeding and, like, other sorts of, like, liquids come out of it, and
Yeah.
then it just sort of morphs into, like, different sizes.
That's
And,
trippy.
yeah.
But would you say it's so weird it's not scary? It's more weird than scary?
I used to think it was scary when I was a teenager when I first saw it.
Okay.
I thought this was disturbingly scary. Now I just find it fun and fascinating to watch.
I didn't walk away at the time when I first saw it like that. I remember thinking, this is a fucking bizarre movie.
Yeah, I was more, it's too surreal for me to be scared about
Yes.
any of this. There is a sense of foreboding that
Sense of dread.
grows.
Yes.
And the dread.
And the
that
sound, that's where
slowly-
the sound design,
Yeah.
the
All the clicking,
Yes.
the humming.
Yeah.
clanking, any music at all.
And this is all sound design. I don't think there's any music in it.
No music at all.
Yeah. That's another thing I like about it.
Is that the only Lynch movie then that doesn't have
It might be, yeah.
a real,
A real
soundtrack?
soundtrack.
Sound.
So that was, like, I think, a 4 or 5 year project.
Yeah.
And then it finally got released. It made, like, the art circuit, but it wasn't, like, a commercial success.
Okay.
I mean, it made, like, a little bit of money as a artistic film. But what happened with that little film is that a bunch of college students found it.
Became a cult.
Cult classic.
It came 2 years after the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So there was already, like, this sort of gestating market for the midnight movie. So Eraserhead basically helped create the midnight movie.
Are there Eraserhead cues like Rocky Horror cues where people sing and dance at different places and react to the screen?
Say the lines.
Yeah, I think people were too stoned to do that.
Any sort of final thoughts on Eraserhead?
It still holds up. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. It's only like
Very short.
90 minutes,
Yeah.
if that, an
Hour
hour
and a half.
35, something like that. So it doesn't overstay its welcome, which is not the case with another movie much later in his career, but we'll get to.
Well, what is his second movie?
Because of the cult popularity of this movie, it got the attention of many different filmmakers, including Mel Brooks. He somehow just took a gamble on Lynch after seeing Eraserhead, and he really liked it.
He took risks. Obviously, when you look at some of the Brooks movies,
Yeah.
we probably should do a special on Brooks. He's turning 90.
He's turning 100.
He's turning 100. He's 99. But it doesn't surprise me that he focused on Lynch.
I am not an animal. I am a human being.
Elephant Man, was that 1980?
1980.
Okay.
I think it came out like right around the same time as The Shining.
I think my parents took me
My parents took me to see it
because
too.
I have these images that stick with me, but I don't have a good grasp or memory of the film. So when I rewatched it within the last week, I really I paid a lot more attention to all the details and to the acting and to the dialogue and the music and everything.
Great score, by the way.
It's a really solid movie.
I think it's one of his best.
It's a lot more mainstream
It
than
is.
some of his other movies. So there's not a lot of this exploration of the subconscious things happening. There's not a lot surreal sorts of things.
There is an
happening.
interlude.
It's like this sort of surrealist interpretation of his conception.
It's a trippy
Okay.
scene. It's a trippy scene.
Whenever he thinks about his mother or dreams about his mother, that becomes very Lynch. Great production design. I love the recreation of like industrial Victorian London in this.
I like the stranger stuff. I
Yeah.
like it when Lynch is an auteur and
Yeah.
goes off and does
So this was too
the
mainstream.
wildest stuff. Yeah. So this seemed more like, oh, it's a standard story of the guy that's heartwarming and
Yep.
he has a happy ending.
But he doesn't. He basically kills
Well-
himself.
Mostly happy.
The ending, he decides he wants to sleep like a normal human being.
But he doesn't kill himself.
He dies that night.
Would you say this movie's a tragedy?
Yeah, he lives like this tragic life.
Like, there's a lot of positive
Well,
elements.
yeah, because, and this is like something that Lynch's critics always detract on him, is like his films are too apersonal. They're very detached. But this movie, like when he wants to, he can very easily get to like the emotional core of the story, which he does in Elephant Man.
I like the juxtaposition of there's the horrible people that want to
Exploit him.
exploit him, treat him like shit.
Just gawk at him.
Oh,
Mainly,
they're
right?
terrible. That one scene is hard to watch, actually.
Do you remember the name of the security guard?
No.
Sonny Jim.
Is this name Sonny Jim? The little the little boy in Twin Peaks: The Return. His name's Sonny Jim. Jen and I got one of those little vacuum cleaners that spin around on its own and clean the floor, and we named it Sonny Jim.
Okay.
You missed a spot, Sonny Jim. Anyway, back to the movie. So the juxtaposition of the evil people, we'll call them, with the good people.
Certainly Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Am I a good man? Or am I a bad man?
There are people within the hospital that are.
They eventually like warm to him and befriend him.
It's a really well acted movie.
The black and white cinematography is great.
That's
It's just
perfect.
the iconic shots of him wearing the hood, like the cloak and the hat and the hood.
That's one of the
even-
images that always.
As
stick
a little boy, I remember just seeing the poster for that and just was like totally intrigued by that.
Now, do you remember the gift that they give him that he's just like, oh?
Oh, it's the grooming kit,
I guess the idea is that it's normalcy.
treating him like a normal human.
Does he know exactly what he looks like?
There's that one time where like he sees himself for the first time. He's never actually seen his visage.
They hold a mirror up to him.
Yeah, and he's never actually, I think, seen it clearly, and he's repulsed.
Is this an allegory for him? And or, like, is this a stand-in for everyone feeling alienated, feeling like people don't care about them, and then finally you get some people coming in and being noble towards you?
At one point in everyone's life, they don't feel normal, or
Yeah.
they
Or
feel
that they belong.
they feel alienated from
Yeah.
culture or society.
That's like the universal
Yeah.
story that's behind.
Yeah.
And this movie taps into that.
So
I
it's
think
like,
you're right.
take that, ramp it up to
Yeah.
11.
Seeing it again after a long time, I think it still holds up.
Nothing will die.
So the success of this movie got some interesting attention put on David Lynch.
You start getting lots of calls. Yeah.
One of those calls was from a little man named George Lucas.
Yes.
Just like he did on Empire, he wanted a different director, not him, to do Return of the Jedi. If I was the guy who made Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, I'm going to say, I want Return of the Jedi to be made by the guy who did Elephant Man and Eraserhead.
Doesn't make sense at all. Yes.
I can't imagine a universe where that actually got made. I mean, I would love to live in that universe.
It would be very different. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give Lucas this credit. He always talks about his art films. I'm going to make small personal art films. Which he never ever does.
Right. Yeah.
With that idea in mind, he said, why can't we get an interesting director, artistic director, like David Lynch to do the third installment of Star Wars? I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
ballsy.
I think that's where like Lucas was still like a young sort of risk taker. He wasn't this jaded slave to the franchise he had created at this point.
Did David Lynch turn down Lucas?
It's on YouTube. There's a great interview where he's talked about going to Skywalker Ranch and meeting with Lucas. It's very funny. He gets more and more like irritated as Lucas is describing the
The
story.
Ewoks? I would think David Lynch would have loved the Ewoks. He's going to do all kinds of weird fucking shit to the Ewoks.
George is a guy that does what he loves, and I do what I love. The difference is what George loves makes hundreds of billions of dollars.
So who else came after David Lynch after the success of Elephant Man?
Dino De Laurentiis, is that his name?
Yep.
Remember the 70s remake of King Kong?
Yeah.
He did that.
Okay.
He did Conan the Barbarian. You know, so he was a big sort of international Italian producer.
So what movie did he want David Lynch to make?
Frank Herbert's Dune.
He who controls the spice controls the universe. Arrakis. Dune.
Had gone through a very long process of development. At one point, it was going to be made by Jodorowsky.
But there's a great art book that resulted from that
Yeah.
because they did a ton of crazy designs for it that
Yeah.
then ended up filtering into all sorts of other movies.
I think H.R. Giger was
Yeah.
part of that.
Giger was part of it.
Okay.
So some of the Aliens universe actually comes from the money that was spent for concept drawings for Dune.
This is like in 76 or 77. So.
There's a break here, though. A good break.
Well, it was a big production. He's gone from like this little indie
Art movie.
art movie in just the space of like 6 years.
83 or 84?
Well, they were filming in 83.
83 they're filming, 84 it comes out.
And it was just this nightmare production. It was like, it was too big for Lynch.
Yeah,
And
it's a space opera, so
Yeah.
you can see it in the shots. There's huge set pieces that are happening that are
Yeah.
great.
I've always loved the production design of Dune. I mean,
I like Dune. I don't give it an A, but I like it.
I like the first half of Dune.
I take it this is where David Lynch meets
Yes.
Kyle
This
MacLachlan.
is Kyle MacLachlan's first film.
His first movie.
Okay.
yeah.
Sting's in it. That's important to know.
It's also Dean Stockwell,
God, that guy had a career.
Jack
man.
Nance, Brad Dourif's in it.
Brad Dourif's in it. Okay.
Brad Dourif's great. I think it's the first where you're like, Brad Dourif is a fucking weirdo. He should be in more Lynch movies.
He should be a weird guy in more weird movies. Who's the main bad guy?
Baron Harkonnen.
Who's the?
I forget the actor.
I forget the actor too. It's not like you have the ability to put up his name. Or...
Here's the actor.
We're knee deep in a Atreides blood. We've got them.
Lynch goes for like, here's how fucking vile and disgusting the Baron Harkonnen is
Yeah.
in this movie.
How he kills a random guy
Yeah.
for no
no
reason
reason.
at all, just
Yeah.
unplugs his heart and lets the blood drain out of his body.
I forgot about that.
Great scene.
Yeah. By the way, if you were worried whether or not this was a Lynch film, look no further than the little girl who talks like this.
You know who that little girl is?
Who is she?
She would later be in Twin Peaks. She's Donna's little sister. Remember in The Return, the girl who was
Yeah.
with the drugged out guy? That's her.
But anyway, that little girl is creepy.
You can tell Lynch loves the whole concept of the spice.
Once again, showing two things on the screen at the same time,
Yes.
fading between them.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
some voiceovers
Yeah.
that are literally what the person is thinking.
To me, that's what kind of kills the movie.
Yeah, actually,
There's
the
too many
voiceovers are not
voiceovers.
good.
And then, like, he misinterprets the actual ending of Frank Herbert's novel. Denis Villeneuve's Dune has corrected that.
I like the way the worms, the worms,
Sandworms.
the sandworms.
They look great when a human is not riding on top of them, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
The scenes where, like, Kyle MacLachlan or Everett McGill,
Where they're pretending to navigate.
yeah, that looks like straight out of Batman, the TV series. This was the first big failure of Lynch's career. It was a financial and critical flop.
Which might have been a good thing, because that might have led him more into doing his own thing, rather than doing what Hollywood wanted him to do.
Yeah. Fortunately, when he signed on to do the movie with Dino De Laurentiis, he signed a contract. So I think he was guaranteed like 2 films, maybe 3.
Okay.
So he had like at least another film to do after this, and that was the genesis of his next film, Blue Velvet.
In dreams, I walk with you.
The genesis for this film came from a dream he had as a child.
He dreamt about finding a severed ear in a forest, and so that's always stuck with him.
So he liked Kyle MacLachlan. Did he use anyone else?
Dean Stockwell, Jack Nance, Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif. For me, when I think of the first time I've seen Lynch movies and recently, it's always different.
Every time I see it, I have different interpretations of it.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Who's the main bad guy?
Dennis Hopper,
Dennis Hopper.
Frank Poole.
My memory of it is that it was something more sinister and supernatural and maybe from hell kind of thing. This time I'm watching it, he's just a fucking crazy nut.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
He's an asshole.
I think I used to compare him with like Bob from Twin Peaks.
But not menacing to the degree, I was not as scared of this guy. I was like, yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah, he could probably kill somebody. Defeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kingpin. He doesn't have a huge army behind him.
Yeah.
It's
He's
just like
got a bunch
couple
of like
guys.
Hacks.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of losers.
Weak loser hacks.
Yeah.
And you
There's
feel like
actually-
someone could take this guy out.
Which
you know.
happens really easily at the end.
At the end. What makes it a Lynch movie, and I call them interludes, but the middle of the movie, for this one, that is the ultimate Lynch moment, is when they go meet Dean Stockwell.
Who is Dean Stock? Like, what is his role in this crew? I love like the random people that are just in the background. You're right.
That's the
He's
interlude.
the most incompetent villainous kingpin I think we've ever seen.
And he could have easily killed Kyle MacLachlan when he had the chance, but he doesn't.
I don't understand why they don't kill him.
He's not Baron Harkonnen ripping out somebody's
No.
heart
No.
plug just for the fun of it.
And he's not Killer Bob in Twin Peaks.
I'll fuck anything that moves.
There's a lot of firsts with this movie that we should probably mention.
Okay.
I think this is the first movie where he's like looking at Americana and the dark underbelly underneath.
But you could also say that Eraserhead really already touched on a lot of that. The vision of Americana that is presented in Eraserhead is already this flawed
It's like a
undercurrent.
fucked up version of that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, what about Dorothy?
Is Dorothy a Wizard of Oz thing?
I think so. That's why her name's Dorothy.
And maybe
Yeah.
this is a good time to mention Wizard of Oz.
Lynch's favorite movie.
How many movies do we think he throws in a Wizard of Oz?
I think all of them after this, to be quite honest. There's one that's more overt, which we'll get to in a second, but
Yeah.
you can see this as a test run for Twin Peaks. You know, the Lumberton, the small town that it takes place in, could be Twin Peaks.
A little bit less supernatural, but yeah.
Yeah,
it
you're right.
is the
Yeah.
Americana, but bad things are happening under
Yeah,
the surface.
the crime underbelly part of Twin Peaks. You
Um,
know where it's filmed?
Blue Velvet? No.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, because I lived there, and I now that you say it, I get it.
That's where Dino De Laurentiis' studios were.
Wilmington, North Carolina became the second largest movie industry, second to LA. Very affordable. So you have to imagine the studios being like, okay, we're setting up shop. We have one of our big warehouses there of all of our equipment, semis everywhere, and we're going to be doing Matlock. And we're going to be filming all these indie movies there and all these.
And Blue Velvet.
And Blue
Blue Velvet was there.
There's another first we should mention.
What?
First time working with Laura Dern.
So not just Lynch's first meeting with Laura Dern, but the pairing.
Pairing of Laura Dern and Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah.
Another first time collaborating with Angelo Badalamenti, his
on the music.
composer,
And that's where the tension, what I call the tension music.
which he is great at. He's also great at doing like sort of ethereal motifs.
He does both. I think he's great. I think they're a great pair.
There's a very famous clip of Lynch talking about when they first came up with the Twin Peaks music,
Yeah.
which is the composer is saying, okay, this is the theme, and he says, I'm going to develop it a lot more. I'm going to put some instruments behind it. And Lynch said, no, I just want that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need any of that trappings around it. I
Yeah.
just want that.
Blue Velvet is a movie that really challenges you to think about your reactions to it. And my reaction is, I think this movie is cruelly unfair to its actors.
Blue Velvet was notoriously panned by Roger Ebert. If you've never
As
seen,
being overly sexual?
well, it's like misogynistic. Yeah.
Okay.
He was very sensitive about mistreatment of women, and that gets into like the Friday the 13th and all the slasher films that had like permeated in the early 80s. The scenes of like extreme violence, especially against Dorothy, are pretty horrific.
The movie just wraps up.
Very quickly. That animatronic Robin at the end is just so cheesy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it work?
I was like, okay.
Overall, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like how it's basically a twist on the noir detective. You see a different version of America that might be more true, might be more strange than you're expecting to see.
Yeah.
But it's like a noir retelling of things. So speaking of extreme violence, what is the next movie?
Well, in between the next movie, there's a little TV show that he was developing with Mark Frost.
Wait, is it called Peak Twins?
Say that backwards and maybe you have it right.
She's dead, wrapped in plastic.
Was the show on from 89, 90, and then 90 to 91?
It premiered
It was
1990, like spring, like April of
Oh,
1990.
okay. And by
At
the
the
way,
same time.
less episodes in the first season.
We'll get into that, but that's why the first season is far superior to the second season.
I did not want to spend a lot of time on Twin Peaks, but I think we should say
I mean, this is the films of David
this is
Lynch.
the films. But we should say that this was a big moment in the David Lynch career.
His most commercial success is Twin Peaks.
But he didn't direct a lot.
He directed the pilot, which is fantastic. The third episode is key because that's where like the first time you see the Red Room. Lynch, I've read that he just had a dream, like after they had shot the pilot, and this sort of came to him, and so that's how he sort of incorporated that into the show. He directed like I think the first episode of the second season, and then the network ABC forced him to solve the mystery. The network marketed it as "Who Killed Laura Palmer?" They needed a hook, and that hook worked. Remember earlier in the 80s, there was the "Who Shot JR" sort of thing. They wanted a similar marketing hook. Lynch never wanted that to be like, "Who killed Laura Palmer?" is not the point of the show.
This hooked a lot of fans.
It did.
There were a lot of fans of Twin Peaks back then.
But the murder mystery is like the first season of the show, as you're introduced to like the quirky elements of the town. So they were forcing Lynch and Mark Frost to wrap this up, and Lynch did not want to do this. He's like, no.
So did he? did he leave the show?
Well, he directed the episode where they reveal Laura Palmer's killer, which is a great episode. To me, it's like one of those. I can't believe this aired on network television. He basically divorced himself from the show at that point.
Okay, but the show went on.
The show went on, and the back half of the second season is fucking terrible. I don't care what people say. There are like apologists for it. I'm sorry, it's not good. Mark Frost does his best to sort of course correct, and Lynch comes back in the very end, which ends up being what was then the series finale. And to me, that episode is my favorite thing that David Lynch has ever directed.
Around the time that he was filming season 1, he had already worked on a film. So there was a movie before the infamous Twin Peaks movie. And that movie is
Wild at Heart.
Yes.
ultra violence, ultra sexual,
ultra misogynist.
Yep. Now, again, we get to see Laura Dern, who quickly is becoming a favorite of Lynch's. Instead of partnering Laura Dern with Kyle MacLachlan again,
who's busy,
he pairs her up with Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
This is Pete Cage.
Nicolas Cage is chewing the scenery.
Everyone's chewing the scenery.
Everyone is dialed up to 11. It doesn't make sense.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah, he was Nicolas Cage, full blown.
The first scene of the movie involves him beating a man to death on steps by slamming his head on the steps over and over again until there's a bloody pulp that they show on screen.
That's the movie's intro.
Of course, that guy had been hired by Laura Dern's mother to kill Sailor. Sailor! To me, this is kind of Pulp Fiction before Pulp Fiction. It's the same sort of like pulpy themes, extreme violence, extreme sex, extreme everything. This also predates Natural Born Killers. the Oliver Stone movie. Very like kind of a similar movie.
Except she's not an evil bitch.
They're not killers.
Juliette Lewis
Right.
was
just extreme sex, drugs, killing,
And the
more.
road trip.
and the road trip. Yeah.
I also had a tougher time watching this again. I was like, where's the magic that made me think this was like your classic indie movie?
I think it's just too over the top.
Yeah.
Too violent.
It's over the top in a different way. So the
Yeah.
other Lynch stuff is over the top in this dreamscape, surreal,
And there's subtleties.
but this is not that.
It's probably his skeeziest movie.
And it was probably like, well, baby, it's 6 o'clock. You know, they just kept having sex. That was a big part of it.
We were talking about Wizard of Oz earlier. This is Lynch's most overt reference to
Yep.
Wizard of Oz. That's another thing I couldn't get into this time. I was like, God, it's just too obvious. It's too on the nose.
Give one or two
There's
on the nose
lit-
examples.
There is literally a fairy traveling in a bubble at one scene.
Played by Cheryl Lee, Laura Palmer herself.
Laura Palmer's in that scene.
The highway is the yellow brick road.
Yep.
Lula's mother is basically the Wicked Witch of the West, which they actually call her at certain times.
She is wicked.
Yeah.
First of all, the whole sexual relationship thing with her and Cage and
Well, yeah, that's the reason why she wants him killed. Because he wouldn't fuck her.
right. I like the look of the movie.
It's another great Angelo Badalamenti score.
Yeah, I like the music.
It's got that great Chris Isaac song.
Wicked Game. Oh, I wanna fall in love.
That's what sold the movie, too.
I like the chemistry between Laura Dern and
They're great.
Nicolas
yeah.
Cage.
We got some dancing to do.
Yeah, it's the fusion of Elvis and the Wizard of Oz. It's just too much.
And also the sex stuff for me was like Lynch, go make a porn film. Like just get this out of your
Exactly,
system.
right.
Get this out of your system.
Yeah, just blow your wad on a porn.
It's probably my least favorite.
But why?
It doesn't have the mysticism. It doesn't have the surreal components. Instead, it's just, here's the gritty underbelly of society.
Hey,
the
hey,
trash.
You think this is worse than another movie that we'll get to later?
Yes, I
in?
do.
Interesting.
It doesn't have the Lynch vibe that makes a lot of his movies special.
So what came after this?
Well, we were talking about a little show called Twin Peaks.
You're talking about a show that had a meteoric rise, Twin Peaks, and then a catastrophic fall in the following season.
It
And
becomes way too soap opera-y.
they took out what made it interesting.
Until that great finale, which we already talked about.
That last episode ends on one of the greatest cliffhangers. That final shot, like every fan was like, "We need more. This can't be the end."
So, what was the movie, Dan?
Fire Walk with Me.
I think people were hoping for a true sequel.
That's what people wanted.
That is not what we got.
That's not what we got.
We got a prequel, and I loved it. I actually loved that you get to see, because what have we heard about all 2 seasons? We've heard about Laura Palmer. In the movie, you get to meet Laura Palmer.
You don't even know me. There are things about me. Even Donna doesn't know me.
She's great, the actress.
Well, Lynch has said like he wanted to give her agency. Like she had just been a plot device all this time,
yeah.
and it was like I wanted to like just explore who she is,
Yeah.
who she was as a character,
Yeah.
and that's what this film does.
And her relationship with all the other characters.
Yeah.
You get to see her flaws a lot better.
And you get to see how she fucked with characters, like the men.
Yeah.
I don't mean physically fucked.
Well, yeah, you get to see how she fucked too.
I mean the way she messed with Bobby,
Yeah.
but also
James
James.
comes across as like just really dumb.
I know.
in this movie.
I think he's supposed to be.
I think
He's
he
supposed
is.
to be. Her manipulations of everybody, and then her descent into this whole
Madness.
underbelly with drugs, with sex.
She's a troubled kid.
Yeah.
There's also a supernatural element to it,
Yes, there is.
which was developed and part of the show.
As the movie starts, you are introduced to 2 actors, Chris Isaac and
Kiefer
Sutherland. And you're following these 2 FBI guys, not Kyle MacLachlan. And I like that.
It's very X-Files, actually, that
Yeah.
opening part. Like, you could easily see that being Mulder and Scully.
They could have spun them off, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
They basically go to this town called Deer Meadow, which is the inverse of Twin Peaks.
You want to hear about our specials? We don't have any.
You're hearing about the woman that was murdered.
Which is mentioned in the show.
And there are connections, there are correlations.
Yeah.
And we get to meet a younger, pre-Twin Peaks Kyle MacLachlan as...
Or is he?
As agent.
He might be the doppelganger.
As agent.
Cooper.
Are you saying that the doppelganger traveled back in time?
But they do have a line of dialogue where David Bowie's character, Jeffrey, says that.
Who do you think this is there?
There is the whole concept of, was he split into two versus it being a evil version of him, that it's maybe half is his good half and half is his bad half, and before they were joined together.
The evil is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's some of the most terrifying stuff that Lynch has ever filmed.
This is up there for scariest movies for me.
I think that's why people didn't like this movie when it came out. They wanted quirky Twin Peaks, and they got
horror.
You could almost interpret it as not being supernatural at all.
Right.
Yeah.
That you could interpret it as, this is what Laura Palmer is reimagining has happened.
Her coping mechanism.
Yeah. Where you're not quite sure, was any of that reality, or is it this coping fantasy that she came up with?
Well, then that's even more disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The split happens over and over and again, and also, what is reality is a question that Lynch just keeps asking.
He loves that.
Over and over.
Especially reality, how it relates to film.
She's deteriorating rapidly. The drugs, the lifestyle, but she's horrified.
What's happening to her?
She's being terrorized.
She's being sexually assaulted.
Sexually assaulted. There's the dad vibe, but there's also Killer Bob. And we know how it ends. I think everyone knows. Lord Palmer dies.
What a twist.
There's a hopeful ending for this character. She's in the Red Room and
She's split off in the Red Room.
and it ends up with her laughing and smiling, which it's a positive ending. Lynch originally shot this as like the entire Twin Peaks sort of milieu was involved, so all the characters are in it. It originally was like over 4 hours. As Lynch got to editing the movie, he realized that like, oh my God, like the quirkiness of Twin Peaks didn't fit into this harrowing story of Laura Palmer's final days.
Yeah.
So he cut all that out. And that's unfortunately what audiences wanted, was more of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So Fire Walk with Me basically was a financial and critical failure. And I think a lot of people just thought that, well, Twin Peaks is dead.
And maybe David Lynch's career was dead.
Or was it?